You ever wake up thinking, well, today's just going to be a normal, boring Thursday, and by noon you're in the middle of a war you didn't start, didn't want, but by God, you're going to finish? Yeah, that was me. And I'll tell you right now, if you think owning a little patch of dirt at the end of a gravel road is peaceful, you haven't met the modern HOA. Hell, you haven't met Karen. It started with nothing more than a coffee still warm, barely a sip gone. The sky was wide open, sun climbing over the trees, and I was humming, thinking about diesel pumps and how the irrigation fittings in the back of my truck were finally going to fix that stubborn leak in the south field. Just another Thursday, right? 15 minutes from home, I make the turn off the county road, same drive my family's used for over 60 years, and I slam the brakes so hard, coffee jumps out the lid. Because suddenly, there's this big, shiny gate, brand new, silver and black, looking like it belongs in some gated McMansion community, not blocking the only road to my place. Big metal posts in concrete, keypad box glinting in the sun, private road residents only, welded right into the iron. And standing beside it, two guys in gray uniforms, leaning against a pickup with blinking amber lights. One's holding a clipboard like it's a badge, the other's aiming some scanner at my license plate. I'm thinking, maybe I missed a memo. Maybe the world went mad before breakfast. The stocky one steps out, gives me this cop wannabe hand signal. Afternoon, sir. This is a restricted roadway. Residents only. Turn around. Like I'm a pizza guy lost in the woods. So I roll the window down halfway, give him my best, I'm not in the mood stare, and say, you kidding? My name's Clayton Reed. That farm at the end's been in my family since before your HOA existed. The scanner guy mutters something to his partner, probably about the old guy with a chip on his shoulder. But I'm not here to argue. I just reach across, pull out my laminated right-of-way court order I keep in the glove box for days, just like this, and hand it over. Take a look before you start telling me where I can and can't go. Clipboard reads it, snorts. Yeah, well, that's for the old gate. HOA moved it. Sold the 30-foot stretch to the community trust. Now it's private internal land. Doesn't apply here. And I'll be honest, I almost laughed. You moved it 30 feet and think that erases a court order? I ask. He just shrugs. Not my job. Legal says turn around. Now, I come from a line of people who don't take well to being told they're trespassing on their own land. I kill the engine, get out, and this part's important to him, not yelling, not making a scene. I just look the guy in the eye and say, you're going to move, or I'm going to call someone you can't ignore. My son, Josh, County Sheriff's Department. He actually laughs. Go ahead. But if you don't back up, we'll file a trespass complaint. I call Josh right there. Not a shaky voice, not a rant, just the facts. He listens, says stay put. Don't engage. I'm on my way. So I back my truck up, just 100 yards down under a sycamore, park, and wait. One of the guards takes my picture like I'm a wanted man. I give him a little wave, don't say another word. 5 minutes, 10, the wind's moving through the trees. But instead of feeling peaceful, I feel a fuse has been lit. 17 minutes later, Josh shows up, efficient, quiet, all business. Doesn't waste time, just nods at me, walks up to the gate in full uniform. The guards straighten up, but you can tell they think they're still in charge. Josh flashes his badge. This property's under public easement, obstructing legal right-of-way. Who's in charge? Clipboard guy, stand his ground. This is private now. HOA says no entry. Josh's voice never rises. You're knowingly blocking a documented right-of-way upheld by court order? The order's for the old gate, the big guy insists. We moved it. Josh just gives him that look anyone with a parent or a teacher in law enforcement knows it. Relocating a barrier doesn't erase the right it protects. Who authorized this? They mumble about the HOA board. Josh walks back, pulls his tablet, starts a report. And let me tell you, when Josh writes it down, it's serious. If it isn't on paper, it didn't happen. That's when big guy decides to get stupid. He strolls up, voice tight. Let me see what you're writing. Josh doesn't even look up. Step back. You're interfering with law enforcement. Guy grabs his arm, not hard, just enough to cross a line. and everything changes. Josh yanks his arm free, draws his weapon steady, trained, voice cold. Back up now. On the ground, both of you. Hands visible. Clipboard freezes. The other guy realizes he's messed up. I'm watching from my truck, heart pounding, but Josh has it handled. You just assaulted an officer, he says. Code 911. 2 suspects attempted disarm. Now they're flat on the ground, cuffed, silent. Backup arrives, 2 more deputies, efficient, zero drama. They scan IDs, start body cams, and make it clear this isn't a joke. The HOA guards are pale, whispering, "We just followed orders." The deputies aren't having it. Assault's a felony, Ortega says. You knew better. And then Karen shows up. You ever see someone who just radiates entitlement? That's Karen, HOA president. Suit too tight, voice sharp enough to cut glass. She storms over, heels stabbing gravel. Why are my officers in cuffs? Who's in charge? Josh answers calm. You're interfering with a court-ordered access road. Your people assaulted a deputy. Karen tries to argue, fingers waving, voice rising, but Ortega is having none of it. Your land intersects an easement older than your community. You blocked it, armed guards enforced it, and now there's felony battery. Karen's face goes from red to white. She tries to de-escalate, but Josh is already filing the report, and the guards are in the back of the cruiser. Karen hisses that we'll hear from her counsel. Josh just shrugs. Later, as the cruisers drive off, Karen's on her phone probably texting every lawyer she's got on speed dial. I stand there, arms crossed, not saying a word. The law speaks plenty loud today. That night, I park the truck out of sight, swap trail cam cards, and install a new motion light precautions, Next morning, I wake up to find both rear tires slashed. Deliberate. I don't get mad. Just pour coffee, call my lawyer, Marlene. She's a bulldog, helped me when the first case years back. I explain everything, gate, assault, tires. She just says, we're filing for contempt of court and a civil suit for damages. We'll name the HOA, Karen, the board. They escalate, we escalate harder. But Karen's not done. Next day, certified letter, conditional easement review, all legalese, but it boils down to them trying to cancel my access. Josh calls it what it is, retaliation. And that night, I sit on the porch, glass of bourbon in hand, 12 gauge within reach, thinking this isn't about roads anymore. It's about control. Couple days later, survey crews pounding stakes into my driveway, perimeter expansion for the HOA. I step out. You're on my land. They act confused. We thought this was common area. Nope. My parcel. You got 60 seconds to clear out or deputies get involved. They leave, stiff, embarrassed. I call Marlene. She demands all paperwork, files a cease and desist. The HOA ghosts us. Then there's Kyle, conflict resolution specialist, shows up on my porch with slick hair and fake smile. Let's work out a deal, maybe you get an access code. I laugh. If I blocked your driveway, made you call me every day, you'd be okay with that? He calls me unreasonable. I tell him to get lost. That night, someone smashes my mailbox. Deputies file a vandalism report. But it's not random. It's pressure. By now, Karen submitted a zoning request trying to reclassify my driveway as community access. Marlene calls an old trick, bury it in paperwork, hope no one notices. She files an injunction. We start gathering evidence. That's when I find an illegal irrigation line. HOA's been siphoning water from my pump for their park. That's theft, environmental trespass, you name it. Marlene files more suits, gets a county inspection scheduled. Karen retaliates with newsletters, flyers, calls me a threat to community safety, tries to rally the neighborhood against me. I'm not playing defense anymore. I send everything: maps, drone footage, survey Felesto Kendra, an investigative reporter. By Monday, she drops an expose. The town's talking. 2 HOA board members resign that night. Karen doubles down. She puts up new signs, posts her own guards, calls the police with bogus disturbance claims. But the evidence is on my side. Night before the inspection, cameras catch two people digging near the irrigation box Karen's husband, caught on tape, vandalizing evidence. Next morning, inspection day. The place looks like a movie set. Deputies, county officials, environmental teams, Josh with his drone crew, Marlon, everybody's there. Karen shows up late, smirking, but is served a restraining order she's not allowed past the gate. The inspection reveals everything: illegal pipes, water theft, structural damage, fake maps. By that afternoon, county files criminal charges. Karen loses her president status. The court hits the HOA with over $1 million in damages. Judge grants a permanent injunction: no more trespassing, no more construction, no more games. Karen gets 12 years in prison, 5 before parole. Her husband pleads out for 6. Marlene leans over after the verdict and whispers, "Guess HOA means hell of an outcome now." I don't laugh, just drive home, lock my gate, and hang a new sign: private land. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Yes, even HOAs. And you know what? Not a soul from Maple Creek's set foot on my property since. That's the kind of peace you can't buy. That's justice messy, late, but when it lands hard. Let me ask you this: where do you draw the line? At the property line? At your front door? At the moment someone with a little power decides they want what's yours? Drop your thoughts below. Have you ever tangled with a neighborhood bully, HOA or otherwise? What did you do when someone tried to rewrite the rules on you? Let's hear your stories, because sometimes the only way to keep what's yours is to fight like hell for it.
Cảm ơn tất cả các bạn đã xem video.